Welcome back. I've started underglazing Blockhouse 1. We're using Amico Fundamentals underglaze. We're putting on 2 coats and we're going to do each square and letter with different colors. And right now I put on a couple of coats of blue the other day just to test it out, see how it would look. And what I'm doing now is kind of cleaning up over the stuff that went around the edge, so that, see how like here it's kind of bled around the edge. So since it's the first color, I could just literally come back, scrape it clean, get a nice true edge without too much trouble. So, and as I had anticipated, it's a lot of work to do this. It's going to take quite a bit of time and quite a bit of steady hand maneuvering and work. I've got a couple of brushes that I'm using, not really using the big wide fan brushes that they show you in the tutorials, that's for sure. But it should work. I mean, I haven't used it before, but all the videos I watched on it makes it look pretty foolproof. We're going to try different things. We're going to try where the background areas are. We're going to water it down and get in there and put in like a stain. We don't want a solid color. We want some of the background white to show through. We're not quite ready to do this area yet. It's not dry enough because I want to get a lot of these flakes out of there, and I really can't do that until it's dry and they'll break off easier, which is okay. Apparently this underglaze you can put on dry, you can put on bisqueware, you can put on wet, which is what we're doing here. It's not super wet anymore. I don't know if you can see that or not. I'd say it's, maybe got 30% of the moisture left in it, maybe not even that much. You know, got a little roof chimney pot here. And we're going to want different things for the roof. We're going to want this to look like metal. We're going to do a lot of things. We're also going to be high firing this to cone 6. Then we're going to be low firing it to cone 06. I don't think we're going to try any lusters on it. We're going to try things like putting on underglaze and then sanding a little bit down through it, making it look old and worn and whatnot. So we're going to be doing a lot of different things here. Again, this is really just new ground for me. Although I've done lots of glazing. But yeah, we're trying new things, always try new things, you know. Kind of a testing program, I guess you would say. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to start next with our Amico Fundamentals yellow, bright yellow. I've already shooken it up a little bit, so let's go ahead and let's do this square here. Give that a brand new container. Expensive stuff, this, $20 for this little container. Now we're not going to be using that much for this whole project, but it adds up quick. So we try to use every little bit of it we can, you know, to get going. We're going to put it in these cups here. But waste not, want not, right? And this stuff does kind of go quite a ways. It goes far, I guess you would say. So a little bit goes quite a ways. That might be enough to do everything we're going to do today. Yep. And they're still clean, so you can rub off the outside. Clean that off. I like to clean my lids off every time so that they don't build up a lot of stuff on the rim and air gets in there afterwards. If you keep your lids clean, the material inside them will last a lot longer before they get dry and you have to reconstitute it. You're always having to go through, you know, this wall of glazes here, and over time add water, mix it up again. Even if you haven't used it in a while, you don't want it to get all the way back to solid. That just takes up a lot of time when you do finally get around to using it again. So this first coat we're going to put on a little light, and we're trying not to get any on the inside area here, and we're trying not to wrap it around the edge too much. So if we come at it from an angle, that should be easier. The way this is going on, it's probably one of those colors where you're going to put on quite a bit to get it to really get full coverage. So, but like most painting, first coat's the light coat. Like when you're painting a house. Oh, but we're painting houses today. This is the smallest brush I've ever painted a house with. Ha ha ha. Anyway, this is pretty much what we do, what I do. And there, that's a nice crisp line coming at it like this. And get it through here. Like that. Alright. So after we get that on there like that, we still have this inside edge to do here. You can probably see it there. And this is where the tricky bit comes in. And like I said, it takes a lot of time. And the more you do it, the easier it gets. Oop. Might have to go get my other light to be able to get up underneath here and see it. Even though I've got really bright lights in the studio here, the shadow line up here is very hard to see with my old shaky hands. Sure is nice to have this on a turntable to spin it back and forth. And if you don't have one, you should invest in one. They're very handy for a lot of different things you work on in the studio. Alright, so now that's ready to dry for the first layer. You would come in here and try to wipe down some of the big areas so that it goes on as a nice even first coat. Now because the clay is dry enough, it's not picking up a lot of mud with it, I guess you would say. But it does feel like it's bonding really well with the background ceramic, which I think is what it's supposed to do, right? Alright, so we're going to do a lot more surfaces. We have to decide which. Then we did that one and that one. The decisions that one has to make. I think the next one that we want yellow might be this one here. which is kind of half hidden. So that's a fun challenge. And what other surfaces? Let's say around the door frame here we want to do yellow. And on this side over here, so we'll do around the door frame here. And we're going to do around I think we're going to hold off on making decisions on the rest for now. Anyway, I think also what we're going to do is we're going to switch over to time lapse so that we just don't bore the heck out of you with this, because obviously all I'm going to be doing is painting, cleaning for hours, and I'm not going to do all at once. I'm going to break this down into many different installments before it's ready. And yeah, so the next thing I would say is we're going to fire this, we're going to get this underglaze on, then we're going to biscuit, then we're going to put on the high fire glaze, high fire it, and we might even high fire it in a gas kiln, because I'm interested to see how this underglaze reacts in a gas kiln environment. I have a feeling it's going to burn it all off. But we'll run that gas kiln in as much of an oxidizing state as we can. I know it will do fine in an electric kiln, but I have a gas kiln, and the reactions of the material that I want to use on here kind of requires a gas kiln to get the results that I've gotten before. And again, this is kind of a test piece. We're playing around, seeing what we're going to get, seeing how it's going to result, and work on to the next ones. I've actually designed the next piece. I was looking around for the design book, but I don't have the design book with me to show you that, and it's a little early yet. So yeah, so I'm excited and reserved to the fact that it's going to take some time. So anyway, thanks for joining me. Here comes the slow motion.
Okay, well, I have this wonderful little time-lapse camera that we used on the many occasions that it took to actually get all this underglazing done. So if you follow along, you'll see that camera position changes and my outfit changes, etc., etc. So we did a lot of different sessions to get all this done, because basically what we're having to do here is 2 coats of color on every bit of color that you see being applied here, and there was 5 different colors. So it takes a while, and you have to, remember where you are, don't forget what you're doing, and to get it all done. So basically what I did here is underglazed all the flat areas of the letters and the edges of the cubes. And like I said, that took a bit of time. So hopefully you can imagine all that time. And yeah, it was interesting. Had the music going, all that stuff. Talked on the phone. So anyway, I think you get the idea of just how much time this all took. Thank you for joining me.